Hello. So I wanted to come on here to talk about a topic that I've always been asked in interviews. Well, I'll take it back. Not always, but it's come on conversations for several times, and I don't really mind it because I like a laid back kind of interview versus kind of like an HR interrogation kind of interview. And so as long as the questions are not like borderline uncomfortable, then I'm okay with talking about it. But I'm only okay talking about it if it relates to the viewer because it's not about me, it's about the viewer. And so the question recently, I was asked last week. I mean, there's been in conversations as well, like a month ago, and at least three, four times I've talked about this in interviews because the question has been brought up about media and the media trust. And even one person was telling me that they left the business because local news got attached with the whole mantra of fake news. And so I didn't really respond to that because I wasn't asked the question. But in my mind, I was thinking about a lot of things. And I would say this upon talking to people, upon reading, upon what people are even of saying, like, because people matter. People are the board of directors. People are the reason why checks are being issued out to employees who are reporters, who are TV hosts, who work behind the scenes as producers, editors, assignment editors, what have you. They are the reason, and so they need to be heard. And so a lot of people, even on a local level, have not been heard. Each time I talk to someone that talks about media, they always talk about they just want to show negative stuff, right? It's all negativity. And so, with the past 3 years being attached, actually 3 years and then the administration before with President Donald Trump, it's really been hard for people to trust even local news. And so several reasons, and their reasons could be, well, the past 3 4 years of the vaccinations and how even local news was tied with the narrative that 90% of people in the hospitals aren't vaccinated, despite there being reports that doctors would just report that someone died because of a COVID sickness, when in reality, it could have been a heart attack or some other ailment, right? Number two, the federal government paying $1 billion to media to tout the positive effectiveness of the vaccines, despite there not being data analysis that represents a 5-year-old being vaccinated and having positive effectiveness to it, despite there not being data analysis that showcase a 6-month-old having positive effectiveness with the vaccines. Now, all of these from the viewer's thoughts, all of these from research is factually true. None of this is an opinion. Another reason could be, well, CNN has been looked as something different during the past 3 4 5 years. And you're probably asking, well, what does CNN have to do with local news? Well, local news talk about national stories. Local news sometimes go into CNN archives and they have a partnership with CNN. And so they use those stories on a local level. Russia, Ukraine, foreign policy is talked about on a local level, and so there's always going to be question arise to someone that thinks for themselves when media is regulated by government, because there's going to be certain stories that get told and certain stories that don't get told, that should be told because it reflects what's being told. What I mean by that is Russia and Ukraine. Well, there's other wars going on. Why aren't those other wars being told? And so politics comes into display when it comes to that. And so these are what people are saying, and we have to hear what people are saying because, again, these people are our board of directors, right? And so we have to honor them and respect them if we want to bring that trust. Now, this is not me criticizing local news. This is not me criticizing any news at all. This is just me just displaying and informing information that I've been told and that I've been reading about what people are saying about news and how it reflects that. Now, reportedly, is there more trust in local than in national? Yes. However, has local news been tied to the national news scenario of fake news? Yes. Do people have a reason to feel that way? People have a reason to feel whatever their opinions should be. Yes, that's the beauty of living in America. People can say whatever the hell they want, right? And so it's just a lot that's been going on. But however, I do want to indicate that local news do bring a light to a lot of stories with many examples. One could be finding a missing person, just raising awareness about that, a natural disaster going on, and someone has property insurance on their home, and their insurance company don't want to honor a roof for leakage or whatever leakage is going on or whatever damage has been displayed, people's awareness that need extra help, extra assistance during a tornado, a fire, just a lot community events, showcasing stories that really matter. There's a lot of good in news itself, even in local news in itself. But certain things from the viewer should be addressed, because if we want to get that trust back, then we have to make sure we honor and listen to our board of directors. When I mean by board of directors, I'm not talking about the CEO. I'm not talking about the CFO. I'm not talking about a manager. I'm talking about the viewer, because they are the reason why every single person in that newsroom is being paid, because without the viewer, there's no checks coming in. And so, I just wanted to come on and talk about this because I've been asked this in interviews that just came up, and I related to the viewer because it's not about me. It's about the viewer. So let me know what you think about that. And if you haven't followed, I'd appreciate a follow on here. Thanks.